What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a long day. So worked a full day, 12 hours, good old car business. And now we're here. I'm super excited. It may not look like I am. I'm exhausted, but I finally got one of the biggest pieces to my puzzle, which is working on that thing right back there, that beauty. Yesterday, I did a brake job on the car. And if you guys watched that video, I did a little bit of a boo-boo. I ended up opening up one of the screws for the caliper and it allowed some of the brake fluid to leak out. And I was hoping that nothing would have happened, and it seems like I might have introduced a little bit of air into the system. So I'm gonna try an old school trick and just attach a hose to the bleeder and see if I could just open it up and get a little bit of air to come out of that system and close it back up and try to pump the brake and bleed some. Obviously there's air, there's just air in the lines. So a little bit annoying, a little bit frustrating, but it's a part of the game, guys. Nothing major happened. Everything went flawless yesterday when it comes to the installation of the rotors, the pads. Everything was really good. I got a chance to look at suspension components, the condition of everything, bushings. It actually looked like I needed ball joints, which I ordered today. But the most exciting thing came in today, and I will show you guys what that is. What we got there, we got some beautiful coilovers, MeisterRs. A little bit of background of why I went with these coilovers. The owner of the company, I can't remember his name right now, he's actually very active in the R33, R34, I should also include obviously R32 groups. He's been answering questions. This dates back to a few years back. He actually made a post that caught my attention. He basically said, any questions you guys have in regards to suspension, ask away. This is the owner of the company. That's unheard of, guys. Like, you see BC, big company, you see all these big box brand. It took me a little bit to say that, probably 2 to 3 times, but you see all these bigger companies, they are not involved. So that caught my attention. From my research, he makes a very good product. I don't plan on doing any sort of circuit track racing or competitive racing. I just want a car that drives good, a car that I could adjust on the fly. So this is the first time I've opened the box. I did cut the tape just to make things a little bit easier and I don't struggle on camera. I'm excited. Look at these bad boys. Beautiful. Look at that. So these look like they're the rears. If you guys can see that. Nice little sticker on them. Everything looks very clean. The adjustment knob up top. I'm probably not going to make an installation video just because on YouTube I did see there's a couple of people that did do a really good job with going over installing these, and to be quite honest, it is not very difficult. I will leave that up to you guys to just Google R33 coilover install. When I tell you it's 3 bolts up front, it's as simple as that. The back is a little bit trickier just because you do have to take the rear seats off and 1 bracket. But other than that, everything is pretty much straightforward. Adjustment, everything. I don't want to give you the instructions for these. Maybe you have a different set of coilovers, but everything is pretty self-explanatory. They give you a tool to move these adjustment right here. I'm going to call them adjustment wing nuts possibly, but you get the idea. Very simple, very straightforward. I'm excited. Now, I also think I want to make a separate video. As of right now, I've been doing a lot of stuff on the outside of the car, getting everything dialed in. That was kind of my plan. That was my goal. Get everything driving good, safety-wise. I know I still have to replace the tires. They are still dry rotted, but I am extremely careful. I've only driven the car twice since I've gotten it, very short distance. I want to show you guys this though. The other day when I was working on the car, the mailman was coming in clutch. The tuning shop, this is a leather shift boot and also the parking brake. So it's a set. I ordered this on Amazon. It actually came faster than I anticipated. It says it's made in the UK. Quality so far from what I see, very, very good. And to top it off, I bought a Tomei shifter knob. I don't know how I feel about this yet. I did order it on Amazon as well. So what I plan on doing is installing both, seeing how it feels. The shifter knob, from what I saw review-wise, has a good feel to it. It's not weighted. It weighs obviously a little bit more than the OEM, so that'll be a nice feel. It'll be a nice touch, and more than anything, aesthetically, it'll look a lot better. Next time you see this car, hopefully I'll have the front wheels off and the coilover install will begin. Really quick, got the first strut out. Look at this. It's like taking off some old crusty underwears and about to put on some brand spanking new Under Armour. Don't make fun of my foam. Saves your knees. I always used to have my grandpa yelling at me because I always used to kneel down on the ground and he would always say, take care of your knees. Well, now I'm not old. I'm 30 years old, but I'm feeling it and every little bit helps. So this out, I did have to spray a little bit of PB Blaster down here. That sucker was on there pretty good. So if you guys can see, and it's a little bit dark, but it's very, very simple. There's 2 bolts up here. I actually cleaned up the strut tower a little bit just to see how it would shine. All I used was just some really quick detailing spray. Nothing fancy, but just to see what it would look like. Cleaned up nice. So I will get back to putting on the aftermarket, the MeisterRs. I will say this, before I put it on, I will likely measure the threads just to make sure both of the sides are very, very, very similar, if not identical. I'll put the car on the ground, get an idea how low I want the car to be. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to know how hard I'm going to leave it just because of the wheels that I have on it. But don't worry guys, I'm still actively looking. The wheel that I want to get for this car, which I do not want to spoil it because I just want to have the wheel on the car and then just show it. I'm super stoked, but I cannot find the specs that I need. I might have to order them. I'm super impatient. I will literally pay more for something to have it now as opposed to waiting 3 months or 2 months, whatever the wait is, and have a wheel a little bit cheaper. But again, that's just the person that I am. I'm all about now, which I'm sure some of you guys can relate. Now, let me get back to this. Finished product. Side number 1 is on. I did put a little bit of white lithium grease on the nuts and I guess you could call them the studs. I don't normally do things like that, but sometimes I like to do things right. I did read briefly through the instructions of the coilovers. I made sure all the collars were tight prior to install. Everything is pretty self-explanatory. Hopefully that's not too dark and you guys can see. Everything looks great. The brakes that I put on, great. I'm not sure, I can't remember if I said it during the beginning of the video or not, but I will say it again. If you guys watched that video, I had a little bit of mishap. I opened up the system. I have to bleed the brakes again. Very frustrating, but it is what it is. If it sounds like I'm out of breath, I am. It's embarrassing. Here's the next one. One thing that I do want to show you guys is the orientation on how this goes. Do you guys see how that left side sticks out a little bit further? I guess you can call it, let's just call it a bushing. That side goes, let me walk towards the car to give you guys an idea how that goes. I really hope that's not too dark. I forgot my flashlight at our other house, but it is pointing inwards. So again, if this strut was supposed to be put on this side, on the driver's side, that's how it would go. This would face towards the back side of the car. Up top, very simple. Done, done. I haven't played with the adjustment of the firmness of the coilovers, and I won't until I drive the car, but at least I can set the height that I'm trying to obtain. For now, I know I'll have to go back in there. I actually have to take all this off again to do the ball joints, but I'm not concerned. Everything is extremely easy to do. I'm still having fun doing all of this, guys, so it may seem like I'm doing work twice, but it's okay. I don't mind. Here we are a few days later. I wanted to give you guys a little update on the coilovers. Car drove extremely stiff. The first drive, I wanted to give you guys my firsthand experience. It was my fault. I totally forgot. I thought I was being good and looking through the manual and reading the instructions on what to do installing these coilovers, and I missed a big part. So very, very, very important if you guys do end up going with these coilovers. Depending on the drive and depending on how you like your vehicle, stiffness-wise, you have to do an adjustment. So I'm gonna look down at my phone really quick just so I could see the instructions. This got sent to me after I posted something on the R33 groups on Facebook. And I'm super happy that this guy sent this to me because I think it's gonna make a world of a difference. I have not had a chance to drive the car, but per the instructions, they give you 2 different settings. The first setting is for road use. They want you to turn your adjustment knob to the full stiff position, which is a clockwise turn, and back it off from there. For road use, they recommend 15 clicks up front and 20 in the back. For track use, depending on what you want to use your car for, they want 5 clicks up front and 10 in the back. To give you guys an idea, my fronts were 8 clicks and my backs were about 12 clicks. Again, I think it's gonna vary depending on how it comes from the manufacturer, but that is how mine were set up. So to give you guys an idea, that's most likely why my car felt so stiff. I am excited to change the settings and to drive it because I think it's gonna make a world of a difference. The car was very, very, very firm. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's just a preference thing, but I look forward to driving it again. Look at this bad boy. Shout out to Jeff on Facebook. He custom makes these pot holders. Very clean. Excited to put that on. And then we got one more thing, guys. I will say a sneak peek, but it's basically, you guys know exactly what it is.
Is that a 2JZ?
Got the HKS exhaust. That is for another video. Super excited to get that on, guys. Not gonna lie, guys. This was a little bit of a pain. It was not difficult, just a little bit more time consuming than what I expected. Originally, when I put the driver's side coilover, it was already preset to a certain height. I did not like it. It was a little too low, a little too slammed. The camber was kind of bad, and I'm gonna plan on driving this for a little bit until I find aftermarket wheels. So I ended up raising it about, I wanna say a little less than 1/2 of an inch above where it currently was, or I should say where it initially was. So it sits a little bit better. It still has a little bit of camber, but that's okay. I just wanted to, more than anything, get a better drive, better feel. The other struts you guys already saw. They were tired, they were old. Now we got these beautiful, nice coilovers. They did a really good job with the kit. So I'm super excited to drive it, but that will be next time. So I'm beat, it is late, I'm ready to go to bed. So like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if anything I could have improved, and we will see you guys next time.